on a day like today. It's partly cloudy, and then all of a sudden we get a few sunny intervals. One of the best things you can do is take hold of this and do that with it. Go and find yourself somewhere like this to sit and ponder. This is the former Warsop Main pit top, this place that I like. And I remember pretty much when all this was planted and very new. Now it's a lovely, almost woodland walk. It's a beautiful place to pop in and relax for half an hour, but how many people do that? Usually they'll visit this place just to quickly walk the dog. I like to come here just to pass the time, look for a few invertebrates and see what turns up, because my style of recording now and looking for invertebrates has changed, or at least it's slowed down to a more sedate pace. This video is very much about that. I'm just here today just to have a slow, wheezy wander. Check the foliage as I'm walking by for anything that's sat on it or eating it. This is how I like to spend a lot of my time now when I'm out in the field. I've done with all the chasing rarities and looking for stuff. This is far more relaxing, far more pleasant and enjoyable. I realise that in the years of manically recording everything, I've missed quite a lot. In fact, I've missed probably most of it. It's took me many years, really, and certainly these last 2 years that I've realised how much I've missed as I've walked around. I've been so concentrating on recording everything, and especially looking for new species. We found, Dillis and I, many new species for the county, and that's across all orders, and I still will continue to find new species for Nottinghamshire today. If I put more effort into it, then I'd still keep finding them, but I like this more leisurely pace to my recording now. I've hardly recorded anything as I've documented before on this channel, and I'm really enjoying this year, probably more than most that I have done in former years. On this little walk, it's just a little walk around part of the former Warsop Main Colliery. I'm just going to see what turns up. If nothing turns up, it's still fine by me. It's still an enjoyable walk, and time spent outside in the countryside is always time well spent. Now, a few weeks ago, I featured this very larva on a video. It was a video about looking for larvae of the brimstone and orange-tipped butterflies. Back then, this larva was, well, approaching a centimetre in length, but now it's in its last instar and has got a few more days of growing to do before the pupation process starts. And this, of course, is the larva of the brimstone butterfly, and it's in its typical pose, always sat on top of the leaf with the prolegs clasping onto the leaf near the leaf petiole. You will always find them like this, and they are obvious as well. They don't make a great amount of feeding damage to give themselves away, not unlike some caterpillars. These tend to just take parts of leaves, so it's not entirely obvious And I'll show you another branch in a minute that has got some larval damage on, so it'll show you how much to expect. But these are a really nice caterpillar. They're typical of your whites. If I just grab hold of this branch here and skillfully show you this larva from the side, and you can see it's very similar to the orange tip larva, really, but less sort of silvery on top. Just has that silver whitish line running down the side. Otherwise, it's like that. Nice to see that these have done well. There's just this one bush of older buckthorn here on Warsop Main picked up. There's some quite close locally to here, but it always holds larvae of the brimstone butterfly, so I'm pleased that these are doing well. There's at least 2 on here, but I suspect that there are several more, judging by the feeding damage that I can see on separate branches. And even on the same bush, they tend not to be too close together, larvae. So here's another brimstone larva and its associated damage. Look, you can see there's a bit of leaf been taken off there, and a bit just on this top leaf here, but otherwise it's not the entire leaf. Chunk out either side there, and of course the larva is there. So you're not looking for masses of feeding damage when you're looking for brimstone larvae, and they're usually present wherever older buckthorn grows. It's surprising how these butterflies tend to wander, probably with good reason, because certainly in Nottinghamshire, alder buckthorn isn't a common shrub to come across. Quite happy finding my invertebrates in this manner now. It's quite therapeutic, to be honest, when you're not looking for anything specific, just general signs of invertebrate activity like feeding signs and the like. It makes for a very pleasant hour or so out, especially when you're in somewhere like this that's nice and quiet, surrounded by birdsong and a variety of different shrubs. I don't manically look and search the foliage for things. I'm just happy to notice them as I walk along. And here's the micro moth, Gypsonoma sociana, one of several species of micros that are quite similar, but Gypsonoma sociana is very common where goat sallow grows, and I'm surrounded by copious amounts of goat sallow. You can occasionally find it like this, just sat at rest on the leaf of the food plant, and it will regularly come to light traps as well, even those operated in gardens. But this was just found just as I was walking by. There it was, just sat on the leaf, and it stayed put. This is the typical process of my time out in the field now. Don't run around looking for stuff constantly like I used to do. Although when Dillis was alive, we never really did that anyway. Most, if not all, of everything that we ever found and recorded was largely through visual searching of foliage. Now that's what I continue to do. I've never been one for using the beating tray a lot or doing lots of sweeping, and certainly would never even consider doing vacuum sampling. Now I prefer my time out in the field to be far more leisurely, and I get far more out of it than I did. Slower paced, you don't see so much, but there again, I'm quite happy with that. I want my pastime or hobby to be more enjoyable than perhaps what it was when I think about it now. It was always nice to find all these rare insects over the years, but now I get as much pleasure just from appreciating the likes of this, and this is just a former pit top.